In 1930-something, a famous St. Louis baker, Adolphus Anheuser Gooey, was trying to fight his way out of the Great Depression. Nein, this Great Depression is bad. Ugh. I gotta find something to make some money. Unfortunately, his cousins from the other side of the family had their local beer operation to see them through tough times. Anyway, our dashing young baker was trying to invent the next hot-selling coffee cake. Ah, that's the stuff.
Actually, Ed, that's not how it happened. He wasn't trying to make the next spectacular morning coffee cake. It was an accident. But I happen to have the ingredients right here that will make a traditional St. Louis style gooey butter cake. And what you need are 3 tablespoons of milk. And to that milk, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of very warm water. I want the water to be very warm so that when I put the yeast in, and I've got 1 package of rapid active dry yeast, I want that yeast to be activated and it will actually proof, which means it's going to start to foam a little bit. If the water is too hot, it will kill the yeast. If the water is not warm enough, it won't activate. So it's been about 5 minutes, and as you can see, this yeast is foaming. That's a great sign. That means that this yeast is very active. I'm going to start putting the other ingredients in that I'll need, and that's 6 tablespoons of butter, 3 tablespoons of sugar, a teaspoon of salt, 1 egg, 1 3/4 cups of flour. Well, now that this is well mixed, I'm going to take this out of the mixer. You can see that the dough is soft, but it is pulling away from the side. So it's soft, but it's still easy to work with. And I'm going to put this dough into a 9 by 13 inch baking dish. It is not necessary to grease this baking dish because there's so much butter in this dough. I'm going to use a rubber scraper to start this dough, but as Julia Child always said, immaculately clean hands are some of the best kitchen tools. This needs to be spread evenly. Want to make sure that it's nice and flat. It's really, really easy to work with it. Like I said, it's really soft, but because of all the butter, it's not sticking to my hands at all. Well, now that I've got the dough in the 9 by 13 pan, it's time to start the topping, which is actually just another dough. The ingredients for this dough are 12 tablespoons, that's 1 1/2 sticks of butter, 3 tablespoons plus 1 teaspoon of light corn syrup, 1 cup plus 3 teaspoons of all-purpose flour, 2 tablespoons of water, 1 1/2 cups of sugar, 2 1/2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1 large egg. This recipe, like all of our others, can be found in a printable version on our website. I'm going to add the butter, the sugar, and salt to the mixer and cream those together. I did that in the first dough as well. When that is completely creamed and fluffy, I'm going to add the egg, and I will continue beating until that is well combined. Once I have a nice fluffy mixture, I'm going to alternately add the flour and the corn syrup mixture. I want to do it Well, I'll put in about half of the flour to begin with, then the liquid ingredients, and then the rest of the flour. Okay, that looks really nice. I've got a great dough going here. You'll notice it is a little thinner, looser than the other dough was that I used for the base, but that's because there's a lot more butter in here. That makes it even better. This will get spread on top of the crust. So I'm going to put, instead of putting it all in one spot, I'm going to scoop it out and just dollop it over the entire crust. And okay, I'm just using a rubber scraper and spreading this around. It's thicker than cake batter, but it's still pretty easy to spread. When it's finished baking, it's still going to be a little jiggly in the center, but that's okay. It will finish baking as it sets and as it cools up. All right, I've got this nice and smooth, and now it's time to put this in a 350-degree oven for 40 to 45 minutes until it is nice and golden brown. That gooey butter cake. It is so nice and golden brown, but something's missing.
Ginger, my strudel muffin, you forgot the powdered sugar.
That is Dishing Up America's take on St. Louis gooey butter cake. See you next time.